Whoa, it is really snowing hard. Hey, everybody. Are you trapped in a blizzard like I am? Man, it is really coming down. It makes me wonder though, I wonder how many days we have snow during a winter time. One way that we could keep track of that is with a graph. You see, a graph is a great way to show information where we could show how many days we get snow or show how many people like uh, peppermints, or we could show how many people in our class maybe have a dog as a pet. We can show lots of different kinds of information. So today what we're going to do is we're going to make a graph, but this time we're going to make a graph using a computer and a brand new tool called a spreadsheet. So I'm going to show you how we can put information into the computer and the computer will make the graph for us. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and talk about how to make graphs. All right, first grade. So what we're going to be doing today is making some graphs. We're going to use data, we're going to collect data and make some graphs with it. And we're going to use a tool called a spreadsheet. So a spreadsheet is a great way that we can collect data, collect information, and then we can have computers make the graph for us. So I've got a couple of things that I need you to open up to do our work today. And I'm going to work with you through the first graph, and then I'll have you kind of finish up on your own. So in Google Classroom, like we're in right now, I'm going to have you go to a couple of different spots. So first off, I'm going to have you open up this thing called Data for Remote Learning. This is our data that we're going to use, okay? Let me just kind of show you what it looks like. So when it opens up in this tab like this. And we don't have to push present mode because we're going to kind of go back and forth with something else. Okay, so here are our slides. It says data graphing, and then it says this. And this next slide says, today we're going to graph some data. We're going to ask a classroom of Mr. Carvers, that's me, what their favorite things are. We are going to take their answers and put them into a spreadsheet. And the spreadsheet will turn our answers into graphs. Then we will be able to see the data and what it shows us. Use the answers from the class and fill out your spreadsheet. So this slide here, this is me. This is my class. It's a bunch of me. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to ask me's a bunch of questions. The first is going to be, what is your favorite dessert? Now, before we write down, or before we see like how many people like different kinds of desserts, we need to find the spreadsheet to write this number in. So up at the top of your browser is Google Chrome, what we're working in, there is what we call tabs. So this is the tab that I'm currently in. And this one is our Google Classroom tab. I can go back and forth, back and forth. Tabs are a way that we can keep lots of websites opened up and get to them all at the same time. So we opened up this one, the slideshow. Now I need you to come over here to this one. This is a spreadsheet. And when we click it open too, it will open up in a different tab. Look at this tab. Here's our spreadsheet, or excuse me, here's our slideshow, spreadsheet, slideshow, spreadsheet, slideshow, spreadsheet, slideshow, spreadsheet. Okay, you get the idea, right? Okay, good. If I look at my spreadsheet, I see that I have, got it, okay. I have a question here. What is your favorite dessert? And here I have 5 different answers. Ice cream, cookies, cake, pie, and other. Other means some other answer that's not these 4. So what I want to do is I'm going to record down the number of Mr. Carvers that answer ice cream as their favorite dessert. So the first thing that you need to do and I need to do, and you can pause this video and you can do this with me if you need to, okay? You can click the top box by ice cream. This is a yellow box. This is where we're going to write a number. And we're going to actually write on, or we're going to type it with the numbers on your keyboard here, okay? Okay, so we need to find out how many Mr. Carvers like ice cream. I'm going to go back over here to my slideshow. There it is. Okay, so here's my slideshow. And I'm going to scroll down, and you can scroll down too. I'm going to scroll down, and we're going to click on this slide. Now, this slide says ice cream. So that's the number of Mr. Carvers that like ice cream. How many Mr. Carvers do you see? Let's see, there's 1 and 2. I see 2. Two Mr. Carvers like ice cream. So I need to write that in my spreadsheet. I'm going to come up to the top and click on my tab. And I'm going to find right here, it says favorite dessert, ice cream. There we go, right there. Okay. So there we go. I said 2. And now I'm going to push the enter key. Enter's right here. When I push it, look what happens. Whoa, a big blue dot appears. Huh. That's not going to make a whole lot of sense right now. Don't worry, because now we're going to look to see with the answer for cookies. I wonder how many Mr. Carvers like cookies. Let's go back to our slideshow and see. So that was ice cream. Let's click the next slide. And it is cookies. How many do we see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Mr. Carvers like cookies as a favorite dessert. So let's go back to our tab, and so cookies right here. Let's type a 7, enter. Whoa, look what happened to our graph. Now this many Carvers like Mr. Carvers like cookies, and this one likes ice cream. We can see this is a pie chart. A pie chart kind of takes a circle and says what part of the pie goes to what answer. Looks like right now a lot of most Mr. Carvers like ice cream. No, cookies. Cookies. Let's see what else we have. Oh, this next one's cake. I wonder how many Mr. Carvers like cake. I gotta click the next slide. Cake. Oh, let's see. 1, 2, 3. 3 Mr. Carvers like cake. Okay. So let me come up here to my data, and I'm gonna push the 3 and the enter, and hey, look at that. That shows me that now this many people like cookies or cake, and here's ice cream, and here's cookies. Neat. Let's keep going. Pie. I wonder how many Mr. Carvers like pie. Okay, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4 Mr. Carvers like pie. So let me write it in my data here. And 4. Enter. That looks cool. All right, we have one more called other. That means the remaining Mr. Carvers didn't want ice cream, didn't want cookies, didn't want cake, didn't want pie. They wanted something else. So let's see how many Mr. Carvers want something else. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 Mr. Carvers want something else. So we're going to come over here, and we're going to write that number 5. Wow, that looks pretty good. So this still shows us, though, that the most number of Mr. Carvers like cookies. That's the biggest part of the pie chart. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come down here to the bottom of your screen, and it has another tab at the bottom. So tab's going to be at the top, tab's going to be at the bottom, tab's going to be all over the place. This tab says animals. And when I click it, oh, look, I have a new chart. And this new chart is going to give me a new graph. So I'm going to go back to my Mr. Carver class, and oh, look, this next slide says, what's your favorite animal? So now we get to see how many Mr. Carvers are going to answer their favorite animal. What choices do we have? Let's see. The first choice here is horse, and then bear, and then tiger, koala, and other. Okay, that's good. So let's go ahead and find how many Mr. Carvers like horses. I wonder what we'll get. Oh, only 3. Okay, so I'm going to write that number into here. Oh, look at this. This chart is a bar graph. And a bar graph is going to show us the answer, but in bars, not like in a pie, like this. So we're going to see a new kind of graph here. This is the part that I'm going to have you start to work by yourself on. you're going to look over here at my Mr. Carver class, and you're going to see how many Mr. Carvers answer each question. You're going to record the data into your spreadsheet. When you get done with the animals, you'll actually find another tab down here. This tab is for activities. And this tab is going to give us a sideways sideways bar graph. It'll look like this. Cool, huh? There's a section for Mr. Carvers when what they like to do after school. There they are. Okay. When you get done filling in your data for animals and activities and dessert, then you're all done. And I'd like for you to push the turn in button. Oh, wait, you don't have that. You'll have to come back here. Here's your first tab, your Google Classroom, and you can turn it in right there. And I'd like to see the work that you did. And from here, you can then go to my website. Opening my website opens a new tab, and you can try the one for first grade, and you can do any of the activities that I've got listed here. All right, give it your best shot. It's cool to make graphs with computers and have the computer kind of do all that work for us. I will see you next time in computer science, and I hope you're having a great day. Okay, see you later.